I have no idea what Bill is doing up here.
Trying not to die.
Good morning from El Cajon down here in California. Not feeling super great this morning. Had a very hard night. I don't know what I ate yesterday, but spent a good 3 or 4 hours last night with diarrhea. Not a fun thing to talk about in a vlog, but you know, that's the reality of life. You can't always be feeling great physically, and it's taken its toll. I'm just trying to recover a little bit so that I can meet with the guys tonight. So this vlog may not be the most stellar, interesting, super vlog, but I'm going to do my best to recover and feel a little bit better today so that I can meet with Bill and with Scott tonight to continue with the engine project. I think it's nearing completion. And maybe do a little bit of work on the step van. I've got to figure out exactly what we're working on. Things are sort of on hold with the cabinetry. I'm waiting to hear back from another subscriber. His name is Jeff. And hopefully this weekend I'll be working with Jeff on the cabinets. And tonight working with the guys on the engine for the Toyota. And then I've got to figure out what I want to do with them to try to push forward and get a few projects done for the step van. I'm at Bill's shop. It's Wednesday evening. We're working on his engine project again. This should be the last session before they send everything out to be worked on. Supposed to be meeting Scott and Bill down here, and we might be working on the step van. So you've made some progress on the engine since last week. What's going on here?
Well, we had a breakthrough on disassembling the engine. I was able to actually get the crank pulley off and took the remainder of the parts that we're going to take off. And so that's good news. The only other thing we're going to do here is we're going to take some measurements and kind of check some things, make sure that things are in spec, generally speaking, according to the book.
And after this, everything gets shipped in or shipped out for...
Shipped somewhere.
Shipped somewhere.
Some direction, yes.
Get something done to it, and then it comes back all shiny and new?
Yes. It's just like that.
Yeah. So that's the technical part of it. It comes back shiny and new. That's all that matters, then hopefully it runs.
So we got some goodies in for the engine. Well, some of it's a little bit early. I took advantage of some Black Friday sales and spent a bunch of money. I know there was a question from somebody out there in the comments on sending the head out to be machined, and I'm not even going to bother with the head, and that's because of what I think is in this box. So let's see. Try not to drop it. This is a new casting from Spain, ported and polished. It's got oversized stainless steel valves in it. Fancy. And this cam, this is a, I don't know what they call it. It's like out of their 4 cams, this is like the 3rd one up. So this cam is supposed to give it better low end torque. This is the high performance oil pump. So this is better, I guess, than the original. Is it supposed to turn? Oh, there it goes. Look at that. What else we got here? Oh, these are rocker arms. What else we got? Ooh, adjustable timing gear. It's got it. It says stock, race 1, race 2. Which setting do you think we should put it on? We got a timing kit. So we got metal chain guides. That's an upgrade because the factory is plastic. Tensioner plunger. And we got chain. This here is the, instead of doing head bolts, we're converting to head studs. I don't know why does like fasteners and hardware just like fascinating? They're just some bolts, right?
Guess Christmas came early for you.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm my own Santa Claus. Be your own Santa Claus. That's a very selfish statement, isn't it?
We're not doing too much on the engine tonight, so we just sort of looked it over, figured out what we need to send out for parts, did a box opening here with Bill's new parts. And so we're going to look at the step van and do a little bit of work over here on it. First order of business, we're looking at the oil pressure sensor. There's one little wire over here that's disconnected and the nut was missing. So I asked Bill and Scott to look through the nuts here for all their electronic stuff that they have here in the shop to find one. Bill found one that matched perfectly. I was screwing it on and I decided to use a pair of pliers to screw it on a little bit tighter, and guess what happened? You guessed it. The little post with the threads broke off completely, and so now I just have a little connector flopping around, and I'm gonna have to get a new oil pressure sensor. And right here is the oil pressure sensor. You can see the one connector is good, and this is the one I broke. You can see it sort of flopping around there. We're working on the backup system, doing a test here to see if the backup camera and the little monitor works, but we're working in the dark, which is making it a little bit difficult. The guys back here are pulling out the big guns. We've got all sorts of electronic gizmos here, trying to diagnose and figure this thing out. This is really hilarious. We think we got it figured out. We did a test here in the bench, so now we're going out to the step van, and I've got these guys trailing and cords hanging between us. Pretty funny. We did our test. Unfortunately, it took all three of us, so there's no way for me to do video of the test, but everything looks spectacular. It looks really good. So I think we're gonna be just fine. I'm editing this video right now, and I realized I just never really wrap things up. I was just talking with the guys. We had been working on the backup camera system, and then I have a total of 4 cameras for the backup system. I have cameras for all sides, so one for the front, one for the left, one for the right, and then one for the back of the step van. The one on the back actually has those little lines that go in a pattern with like green, orange, no, green, yellow, and red for the zones opposite direction. So anyway, it'll be my first backup camera. So I wanted to find out a few things. I wanted to find out which way the camera sits so that the lines are on the ground instead of in the sky. You know, that's sort of important. So when you're looking at your image, you can see the lines on the ground. So I wanted to find out that, so we figured that out. I wanted to see the perspective to see if I should mount it down on the bumper or if it needs to be mounted up above. I want to mount it up above. So here's the backup camera. This is an Esky backup camera I bought off of Amazon. Was one of their highest rated. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it to focus on the camera here. There we go. So you can see this camera is like 180 degree. It's a super wide angle. And the problem is that the cord is permanently attached to this big plastic Y thing, and then it goes out to these giant plugs, and it's all together. I tried pulling this apart to see if I can undo it from the camera and unscrew it, and I can't. So there's no real good way to get this through the hole other than to drill a hole that's like this big to go through, which was my original plan. And Scott, in his brilliant wisdom, is saying, let's not do that. Let's cut this part here in the middle and resplice it together, which he can do, and it's not really in my skill set, so he's going to help out with that. So that's one battle, is to figure that out. Here is the backup camera. So there's a button you push, it sits on the dash, push this button and it pops up, and then there's this small screen. It's like a 5-inch screen, something like that, and then it has a set of wires here on the other end, but these are no big deal because this is all inside. I just have to run power to the camera, power to this, and mount it on the front dash, and good to go. And then I've got the 3 other cameras that are going to be mounted in various places, and the hurdle is what kind of gizmo or gadget that I need to connect the other 3 cameras into this system to run on this up front. And Scott gave me another monitor. Let me grab that. And here is the other one. I've got all of these cords that come with it. It is this hybrid thing that can run off of almost any system. This monitor I'm going to put between the kitchen cabinet and the bed, so I can lay in bed, flip it around on a pivot, and look and see with the 4 cameras everything that's going on outside, or flip it the other direction while I'm here in the kitchen where I'm standing now, and while I'm cooking or talking to people, I can look over and see what's happening with the 4 cameras. And of course, it'd be really nice to see a split view that shows all 4 cameras at once, and then be able to cycle through to all the cameras. There's a bunch of buttons on here. I'm not sure what those are all for, probably for the input feeds. But anyway, if you know the gizmo that allows me to easily switch between the cameras to see all 4 on this, and be able to access the backup camera, which is the back camera, with the monitor up front, I don't know, maybe you have to have 2 cameras on the back, one dedicated for backup, one which is for security to go with this. I don't know what the better system is. Please, if you have some expertise in this area, I would love to hear from you. Send me a link, you know, in the descriptions below. Give me some ideas and resources of what to look at. So I didn't really discuss any of that last night. I just sort of, I don't know, spaced it out, didn't really wrap things up. So I just wanted to sort of fill you in on what's happening there and backup system and where we sort of got stuck and what I need to do. I'm going to end up working on it again here in the next few days, but at least now I have a clearer direction on what to go. I do need to get that one component, so if you guys can write some comments on that. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all your comments, all your help. Savor the moment, and I'll see you next episode.